Howdy y'all, today is June 15th. Had a fantastic farmer's market this morning. It's the one that I've been doing now for a couple years. Starting to check on all the chickens. These were the chicks that the second graders hatched, a month or two ago. But they're looking really good in here. They're all kind of hanging out in the back. Getting big. It is toasty in here. Get all these plants watered. So I still have the cosmos, catnip, and marigolds. I've planted one catnip. I'll probably plant this one over here because the wind got it and snapped one. It's still alive, but it just doesn't look pretty. So I'll try to do that today. I also want to stake up my trees and plant a few more flowers that I bought. I just haven't gotten around to planting just yet. And that catawba tree that my dad planted way out there, I don't know if you can see him sitting out there or not. Grass is getting so tall, but he dug that up out of the yard, I don't know, maybe a month ago at this point, and it was looking pretty dead, but it's coming back, so I think it's gonna make it, which is awesome. So I'll have two trees out there and open. I do need to get those fruit trees staked up better because it looks like a few of them are leaning. But first, gotta get these chickens taken care of, make sure everybody's got food, water, and fresh grass. Well, y'all, something happened to my meat birds last night. I see some dead ones in there. I have no idea. I have 6 dead meat birds in here. Oh my gosh, it looks like something might have gotten in here. I have one chicken, looks like, oh my gosh. Well, there were 2 that were injured pretty good. They're still walking, eating, acting normal. It's just if infection sets in, I don't know how good they'll turn out in the long run. But what I'm thinking was maybe a raccoon. There is a little hole here that something probably could have slipped under, but it's very, very tiny. So I wouldn't think a raccoon, but if these things were sleeping up front, maybe just, I don't know. They were kind of thrown around the coop, so whatever it was definitely got in. So maybe just a tiny raccoon, because there's no other holes but that. You can see it kind of walked around the side because the grass is mashed down. Not so much, well, a little bit on this side too. And then the other telltale sign is this looks like coon poop right here in front of the coop. So I'm guessing it's a raccoon. If you don't want to see dead chickens, close your eyes for a minute. I'll show you the damage. So I lost 6. I mean, they didn't really even eat all of them. That one just got the head. This one's missing a leg and a head. This one's missing a head. That one's completely fine, completely fine. Only one really got completely eaten. All my other birds seem to be looking okay. I think just because they're tiny, they're easy snacking, and they're ground dwellers. Has pretty easy grab. The electric net was on, but it looks like that didn't matter to them. So you know where I'm gonna be tonight. I will be out here waiting for whatever that is to come back. So I might use these as bait, to bait a trap as well, bait a couple traps. Yeah, I'm not happy about that. I think I got all the injured ones out of here. Looks a little beat up on the head. Looks like everybody, yeah, everybody's okay for the most part. So anyways, I'm gonna keep moving on chores. Sorry chickens, you guys had such a rough night. Get them some food, water, get them to new pasture. And it was just last week's video I was saying how great it's been. I haven't seen a raccoon or really any predators besides hawks. But yeah, that's definitely an issue. And you know, it got me thinking. I had a random dead speckled Sussex, I don't know, a couple months ago. Not too terribly long ago. It was earlier spring though. And she was dead, and it looked like her feathers had been pulled. And I had been blaming it on blacktail, but I wasn't entirely convinced that it was him. I think it was that raccoon because there was a hole just about that size right next to where she was found, kind of shredded. So I think that raccoon has actually got me once before, but he didn't actually get in the coop and do a lot of damage on the Sussex. Just got one that was probably there. So anyways, I mean, Guess he could have got up on the perch, grabbed her, and tried to get her out. That's probably more what it was. Anyways, whatever it is, I'm gonna get it. All right, yeah, so what I've done is I've cut all the tall grass around the coop. What I'm gonna do is move the net into the shorter grass. Once the grass grows up, it just starts sucking all the life out of the fence. So it's not a good shock. So I'm gonna move the net. That way it's not just sitting there grounding out on tall grass. I'm also going to pound in this ground rod a lot deeper than I normally do. And I'm gonna give it a good soak. So that way we get just an overall good shock. I have it turned off right now, so it's just charging. It's solar powered. But yeah, I cut down the tall grass around it so I can clearly see easy tonight, or as good as I can. But yeah, I'm gonna work on this net really quick because you can see with the tall stuff on it that it just gets swallowed up pretty easily. So I'm gonna move it over into the short stuff. That'll help it out. The net has been moved. I did a little bit of weed eating around some of the other little spots. So that's all good. I'm gonna start bringing some buckets out and watering that ground rod. I've already whacked it into the ground pretty good. All right, I've done about all I can do to help this net out. Put about 20 gallons of water on the ground rod there. I might go ahead and do a little bit more here in a minute, but we'll kick it on. Don't really hear it popping. And then I don't want to walk up the barn to get a tester, so I'm going to walk out here and grab a hold of it. We'll see if I get bit. Normally I can touch this and it doesn't really hurt, but now that I'm actually worried about predators, I figure I kind of want it to. So we're gonna grab a hold right here. So the white part isn't electrified, it's only these braided strands. I have a little bit of metal running through them, so it's only the horizontals. So let's give it a test. Man, I really should probably just go to the barn. I'm not really feeling anything. Okay, there's a little something. Man, that is just not much. Yeah, that's not much. No wonder a raccoon can get through that pretty easy. There is a little something there, but I am not jumping off that fence. And I'd really like to be jumping off that fence. So, I don't know if I have an extension cord long enough to hardwire, because I have a actual plug-in charger. So, I'm gonna roll that out, see what I can do on that. And I may look into getting a better solar charger as well. This is just a quick one that I got at Tractor Supply, I don't know, a year and a half ago. So I was having issues with dogs over at the smaller farm property, and they were stationary coops, not mobile coops even. It was the one the Americanas were in, and it was a really tiny little run, so it had plenty of juice. This says 2 miles, but it doesn't even seem like it. But I mean, you do get some drag still on the bottom, so I might just need a bigger charger. Yeah, I'm gonna need like 600 feet of extension cords. I don't think that's gonna work, but I do have some other things I'm gonna try. So here are my plug-in options I have. I have a 10 mile, a 20 mile, and another 10 mile. One of these 10 miles went through a tornado and a flood, so it might not work. I haven't actually tried it, but I know the 20 mile works. So I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can get one of these hooked up and going. So the end of my extension cord here gets me out to about where the hose is at. So still just a little ways off there. I do have some insulated wire I could run. I could also hillbilly rig it and pop in some T-post insulators and run a line out that way. so I don't have to hook up to 4 extension cords. It'd probably be better if it wasn't on 4, but let's keep on working on this for a little bit, just see if I can get some better power going out there. Okay, I've got it rigged up with some extension cords. We finally run out to the box. This thing's ticking, which is a good sign. That's my ground rod right there. And then I did have some insulated wire, and that stretched the rest of the way. I've got that connected to the fence. I'm not gonna touch that with my hand. All right, the last line of defense, or maybe the first line of defense, is I'm gonna be posted up all night if I have to. This is a 22 rifle. It's a Ruger. I really like this gun. So I'm gonna take a few shots to make sure everything's still sighted in nice. Made a makeshift target, so should be pretty quick and simple. Take a couple, make sure we're still good, and then we'll get set up for the night. So there's my first shot, second shot, third shot was in. And then I started running out of bullets there at the end, but that was pretty good. For whatever reason, it's not reloading. I have to keep messing with this piece here, so I don't know if it just doesn't like those bullets or I need to clean the gun, but that was kind of annoying. I'm going to take a few more shots, but I feel pretty good with that. That's a pretty good distance too. I'm going all the way back from where the chickens are. I was going for this circle right here. Everything's in it, so I'm happy. I'm a good long distance out. I'm not going to be shooting any further than that. But my gun is really struggling. So I grabbed a new little clip because I thought that was it, because the bullets did get stuck in there and like the spring wasn't working. So I grabbed a new one, and at least this is working. But I mean, I even still had bullets in here and just wasn't firing because this little chamber here, there's one in the chamber right now, but it's just not cycling right. They get caught up in there. You can kind of see the bullet in there. So after nearly every shot, I'm having to mess with this. So I probably need to clean this out. Okay, I lubed that bad clip up with WD-40 and that's now working, so that's a good feeling. But my gun, I can get sometimes 2 shots off without having to mess with the chamber and racking it. I think I really just need to clean my gun out. So we're just shooting off a bunch of rounds. My dad's here too with his, and we were plinking for a little bit. And it was getting better the more I was shooting it. It's been about 6 months since I've done much shooting. So anyways, it got a little better, but it really just needs cleaned. All right, chickens, we're gonna get this raccoon tonight. So I put my dead chickens that raccoon killed in a pile out here in the middle. So hopefully it'll go to that before it gets to the chickens and be a little easier target. So besides that, I do also have a coon trap. So I'm gonna put that on the one side that I can't cover. On the other side, I do have a motion activated sensor that sets off an alarm, so I'll be able to hear if something's scurrying around on the side I can't see. It's about 9:45, so over here we have baited trap with a dead chicken. Motion sensors also on the side. On the far back side, I have a pile of dead chickens outside of the fence. Up front here, my dad's watching this side because we have seen him come up from the garden. And then I'm gonna be sitting back out there. The wind's blowing the right way, so we'll hope we get him. It is quite a bit darker than what this is picking up. It's about 10 o'clock now. I'm on the edge of the tall grass here. That way I can see if he's coming up from the woods there. I can also clearly see the dead pile of chickens out there. And I can also clearly see the fronts of the coop. So we will just sit and wait. Hopefully he is a dusk hunter and not a dawn hunter. It's 10:30, y'all, and it looked like a mink ran right in between us. He slipped right under this net. Man, that thing's quick. So we're looking in all the coops. He's in here somewhere. Some white. He looked like a skunk. That's what I thought it was. I'm thinking maybe a skunk. That thing was quick, though. I don't think so either. I gotta put you guys down, unfortunately, so I can get my finger on the trigger. So I was kind of focusing toward the back of the property. My dad was looking toward the front, but the thing went right in between us here. And I was looking over, I couldn't tell what it was. It looked like a possum or a skunk. I flipped my light on, and that thing darted right under that net like it wasn't there. And it was on the very back corner of that coop, and I had it in my sight, but it was right there, and I didn't want to smack the coop. And I mean, I blinked and that thing was gone, so he took off somewhere. So we're gonna sit here and wait again. Hopefully we didn't blow our chance. But it came pretty quick. It was very fast and tiny. So we're gonna keep on waiting for a little longer because that thing was going straight for the coops and it was not wasting time. So I'm gonna be sitting here all night. All right, yeah, quick update. It's been about 3 hours. It's about 12:30. I am freezing cold. I'm sitting out there shivering. So we just had that one sighting at about 10:30, and that's it. So probably missed him for the night. He may be coming back early morning. We did hear the neighbor's chickens starting to sound off about 11:30, so something was probably over there messing with him. But yeah, just taking a quick break. And I'm gonna grab a cover. And it's really easy to see out there with the light. I actually have a shadow because the moon's so bright, which is good and bad. But yeah, so hopefully we get this thing. All right, y'all, it is currently 1 o'clock in the morning, and the Cornish cross were starting to get a little noisy. So both my dad and I started creeping up toward the coops, flicked the light on. I was on the front, my dad was on the back. I didn't see anything up front, but I was ready. It was not getting out. My dad had the back, and that's where it was. So it was a skunk. So my dad got him, and yeah, so skunks do eat chickens, and the ground-dwelling chicks are especially easy to grab. So, and you see where they're all up front there too. That's exactly where that thing dug a hole and went under and started getting them. So the farm really stinks now. I think I want to make sure that that was truly it. I'm pretty sure that's what it was because it went right for it. So I'm probably gonna stay for another couple hours just to make sure nothing else comes in, and then we'll call it a day. All right, y'all, it's been about 45 minutes since we got the skunk. You know, I really think that probably was the culprit, so I don't want to hang out here all night, so tomorrow would be a waste. So I think we're gonna go ahead and call it. I'm gonna pick up all my dead birds now, put them out back, pick up the traps, the motion sensors, close everything down, and hope the birds make it through to the morning, but I'm 99% sure that we got what we needed to get tonight. Howdy, y'all. Today is June 16th. I'm gonna go out and check, make sure all the chickens are alive and doing all right, and then start working on chores. All the chickens made it through the night safe. Everybody's looking good. My 2 injured ones that are in the barn, they're both still walking around. I'm still worried about that one. We'll see what the next couple of days does, just as far as an infection setting in, because one is more of a deep claw puncture. The other one just took off the first layer of skin, but it's a pretty big area. So right now they're both eating, drinking, acting completely fine. So hopefully that trend stays like that. Just making sure to keep everything super clean up there for them, no bugs, things like that. The bully is still in the barn. Probably keep him there for one more day. He got lucky, he escaped the skunk trauma the other day. So yeah, I'm really glad that we took care of that problem pretty quickly before anything else was injured. For those that may be wondering why I didn't even think of a trap and release, once a critter like that has a taste for chicken, it'd be bad for me to trap it, take off a few miles or somewhere else and drop it off, and then it becomes someone else's problem and kills more of their animals. So that's why I didn't do that. I love skunks. I think skunks are cool. I have a lot of cool skunk stories. One, I actually wanted a pet skunk when I was little. I started up my own little business. I made some really good money, enough for a skunk, and then I decided to get a dog instead. Another time I got stuck in a chicken coop with a skunk. That was interesting, but all ended well on that one. I even have a crazy skunk story that sent a couple family members to the hospital indirectly. So anyways, I think skunks are cool. They serve a good purpose. I think skunks are good to have around, but once they get a taste for your livestock and they're slipping under nets and digging under coops, there's no stopping them, because clearly he was coming right straight for him again, and if I didn't take care of him, I would have lost probably the rest of my chickens. It only ate one, and then it just had fun killing the rest, which I don't appreciate either. So anyways, I'm glad to have that taken care of. And lest I forget, happy Father's Day to all the dads out there. I was planning on doing breakfast with my dad this morning, but we had some nice bonding time last night sitting out in the field. So we're gonna wind up doing something probably tomorrow. He's just relaxing, enjoying the day. It feels great out here. There's a nice breeze. You just got to get away from the woods. Up by the barn, it is really stuffy. Thankfully, the chickens are out here in the more open part too, so they're getting a really good breeze as well. Howdy, y'all. Today is June 17th. It is miserably hot out. Heat index is reading 99 degrees. I think we're actually sitting at 92 for the actual temp. We got just a tiny little pop-up that came through, so it's super humid, super hot. Have a fan on the chickens, but this coop is still reading about 100 degrees. So I don't want my chickens to cook, so I'm opening the door for them and they can come out. It's not like it's that much better out here, but it's got to be a little better than in there. So this will be their first time out. Hopefully they'll figure it out and get back in tonight on their own, but I'll be here watching them to make sure everything's okay. Howdy, y'all. Today is June 18th. Just been out kind of pruning up all the tomatoes, taking off all the suckers on the bottom, getting the leaves off the ground, and kind of staking them up a little better. I think we might have just a few tomatoes for the farmer's market, not this week, but next. I don't know if they'll make it though. I might go ahead and eat them myself. Howdy, y'all. Today is June 19th. I am finally gonna check out this little split I did, look through all the combs, and see if I have a queen. Well, not very good news on this hive, y'all. They looked great last week. I had popped out a frame, gave them some more brood, and everything was great now. They were chock full of honey, plenty of bees, but they got robbed out. So there's not a lick of anything in there now. So we've got just a bunch of clean frames here. There's still a little bit of cleaning up going on. So that's a bummer. Yeah, the queen Should have been back by now and laying, but it was right there on the cusp, so that's okay, I guess. I'm assuming it probably got rubbed out by one of these colonies, so at least I didn't completely lose the resources, but man, that's a bummer. Nothing new to report in this hive here. Everything looks good. This hive here is looking great. The drone comb, this green frame here, they've actually got quite a few in there, so I'll probably wait another 3 days to make sure everything's capped over, then I'll take it out. But I wanted to show you a little bit on this frame. On the corners, you can see that wavy looking stuff. That's honey. Inside these cells is all pollen packed in. Kind of hard to see with the lighting, but down here, this is just the regular capped over brood. There's really not much more space for it, but they packed it in there. And then we've got some more honey on this side. And then this popcorn looking stuff here, that's drone brood. So those are male bees in there. And those are all the female bees. Today is June 20th. It was 90 something degrees today. It's been super hot all week. And this farmer's market between 5 to 8, oh my goodness. And you were just in a parking lot with no breeze. It was extremely hot. There were some people there, but the heat definitely scared them away. Whew. That was a rough one all around. So anyways, I'm heading back to the farm right now. It's finally cooling off a little bit, so I feel like I can get some more work done. Earlier today, I just watered the garden. I did pick a handful of tomatoes. Nothing great yet for farmer's market, but for me, it's great. So anyways, probably go back, water the fruit trees, just noodle around and get things situated. Something that happened today was the summer solstice. It actually happened at 4:20 p.m. So that was the longest day of the year, and now the days are going to start getting shorter. I'm not looking forward to that. All right, chickens, it is time to go to bed. Getting a little too dark out here. And you really just don't get the full effect of how many lightning bugs are out here. Thousands and thousands and thousands. It's magical looking out here. It's just beautiful. Unfortunately, the camera doesn't pick up near even 10% of it. It's beautiful. Howdy, y'all. Today is June 21st. It is another scorcher. My dad is watering the fruit trees. I'm about to work on the chickens. I put a bunch of cups full of water in the freezer, so that way here in maybe an hour or so, once it gets to the heat of the day, I can pop some ice in all the chickens' water. I think they'll appreciate that. But so far, everyone's been taking this heat fine. Inside the barn, downstairs is 91 degrees, upstairs is well over 100, so it's hot. There's a slight breeze though, which is helping things out just a little bit. There's some crazy chickens out here sunbathing. It is way too hot for that. I'm glad that they're comfortable though. They do have some nice shade with these tarps. It's helping them out. A lot of them, at least this coop, no one's in the sun. I sure wouldn't be. Cornish cross are doing fine. Nobody's panting. All looks good. It does still smell like skunk out here though, but the smell's kind of let up just a little bit. Oh no, y'all, what is this? This looks like a little dugout spot with some chicken feathers. Chicken, quiet. So I may still have an issue. It looks like everyone's okay. Unless they just ran in and grabbed the chicken. Shh, you're so loud. Watch, as soon as I move this coop, they will be dead silent. So much quieter. You know, now that I've been kind of locked onto this hole, I am seeing a lot more feathers than normal. Inside and outside of the coop, which is a little odd. Normally I wouldn't have thought much of it, but seeing that hole definitely clued me in, and now, yeah, there's a lot more feathers laying around. I did a quick count in here, and I have 25 birds in the coop. I started with 30. I lost 3, 2 hens, and then I did in blacktail. 27, added 1. That should have brought me to 28, but I'm at 25. So I'm missing 3 birds in there. I can't imagine a chicken fitting through that tiny hole here. But something's been happening because I'm down a few birds. Everybody in there looks fine though. It looks like it's gonna be another long night. And I'm just kind of checking out the inside of the coop for clues, and actually I think something violent did happen last night. So you see these little streaks here? Light shade of red. Looks like some blood there. There's a streak there. This was where the hole was, right underneath here. There's a little bit. So something definitely happened. There's a few more clues around the inside of the coop here. So something came in here and grabbed a chicken and completely ran off with it somehow out of that tiny hole. I see some more blood over there. So yeah, that's not good. My dad's walking the perimeter looking around for a carcass at this point. I just can't imagine a skunk getting a whole chicken out of there and hardly leaving any evidence. If I did not see that hole, I would have went on about my day thinking nothing had happened, because it's not an obscene amount of feathers or anything. It's just crazy that something like that could happen. Go in there, snag a chicken, run off with it, and there's hardly much evidence. I mean, there's blood if you look close. The hole, I just can't picture a skunk being able to do that. But I also can't see any other animal fitting in that tiny hole. I find it hard to believe that they can get an entire chicken out of that little hole. It's really odd. Whatever critter it is, it's pretty sly to run off with 2 of my chickens without me ever noticing. At least I noticed it on this 3rd one. This net over here is definitely a weak link. The bottom doesn't pull tight, so you can easily just slip right under it. That's the one the skunk ran right under, was actually in this corner up here. Yeah, this one's really easy. The white one, on the other hand, is really tight to the ground. I can't get my foot under it. So that one makes me feel good. But yeah, this one has a bunch of holes. It's falling around. It's just not a solid net. At least whatever critter's been sneaking in and chewing on my Sussex is eating them and not just killing them and having them thrown all over the coop like that skunk did with my Cornish cross. Ate one, chewed up. I didn't even chew up the others. He just killed them and left them. So whatever it was, at least it ate a whole chicken is my guess, because it's completely not there. So I'm gonna look around a little bit too, see if I can see it. But yeah, that's a huge bummer. And on Sunday, after we got in that skunk, we thought we'd be done seeing all the little tracks in the garden, but something was still coming in and digging up some tomato plants and leaving little paw prints. So we've got, I can't see too well with the glare. It's a little better, but you can see the little muddy paw prints in here. So there's still something around. Currently working on staining some more boxes for the farmer's market. Got 3 done. Got 1 more here to go. Just using a nice wood stain. Well, tonight we have the strawberry moon, a full moon, so it'll be really easy to see. There's not too much wind, so I don't plan on making this an all-nighter at all. Maybe 10:30 is when he showed up the last time. So I don't know when this critter is going to show up, but probably call it at midnight tops. My dad's going to hang out and he's going to watch the back of the coops. I'm going to watch the front of the coops. The wind is actually coming up from the south right now, so this is a perfect spot. We'll see if we get him. I have a feeling this critter might be full, especially he just ate a whole chicken of mine. So we'll see how it works out. Also, my brother's here burning some sticks and listening to music, so that might scare him away. Maybe, maybe not. We'll see. And I'm pretty sure whatever it is coming from across the road, so we'll see if it comes back up that way. We were going to put up a trail cam, but we forgot. So hopefully we don't have any issues tonight, but you never know. My dad, his gun's working fine. I lubed mine up and it's still acting up, so I think I just really need to clean it. So Hopefully it comes from his side again. If not, it just takes another second for me to clear that chamber. But it's just another second I might need. So hopefully it comes from that side and he can get it again. If not, I could definitely get it. But yeah, I just really need to clean this gun. At this point, I think there's just so many distractions because a lot of people are out here. We had a huge bonfire, we got music going, you can still hear it, and everybody's still walking around. So I don't think that critter is going to be coming around. So tomorrow night I will sit out and wait for it. Right now I'm just getting things together for the farmer's market tomorrow. Load up here in a little while and go, but it's a beautiful night, so just kind of enjoying it. Man, that moon is bright. It is just lighting things up great. This is the entrance of the path right here. It looks like there's just a spotlight on it. You can probably see my shadow pretty good. Yup, that's crazy. Beautiful full moon though.